Hello, my name is Joshua Rudd. I am 12 years old and in 6th grade. As you can see from my green camo t-shirt, I'm on the green team. My experiment has to do with weight, friction, and speed, and how weight and friction can affect speed. My hypothesis is that a heavy object will move faster on a smooth surface than a light object, and a light object will move faster on a rough surface than a heavy object, and that a heavy object will move faster on a smooth surface than a light object on a rough surface. So, how I do this is I take a brick and put it on the smooth board. Now I've marked the board so I can send it down the same distance every time. And then I release the brick and time it from the top to the bottom with a stopwatch. Now, I take, for the rough surface, I take a board, which I've nailed 220-bit sandpaper to. Place it at the top of the sandpaper, which is equal to the mark on this board, and send it down. And I also time that with a stopwatch. And then I have the correct time for the different boards. Now I repeated this process 10 times on each board. Now after I've sent down this, the brick, which I'm calling the light object, 10 times down each board, I then send down my heavy object, which is 2 bricks which I've scotch taped together. And then I time the results with a stopwatch, then average the total of all 10 trials, and then I have the average speed for the heavy brick on both boards and the light brick on both boards. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run 2 sample trials to show you what I was doing when I was collecting my data. Now, I take the brick and place it along the line here. And then, with the timer, I release it and press the start button. And then press the stop button when it reaches the bottom. And then, I have my data. Now, I do the same thing with the heavy weight. Place it on the board at the start line, and release it and press start on the stopwatch at the same time, and then stop it as soon as it hits the bottom. And then I have my data. This is my raw data which I collected from 10 trials in the 4 different categories. In this graph, the light object is represented by the color blue and the heavy object by the color red. As you can see, the heavy object on the smooth surface was the fastest, but interestingly enough, the difference between the light object on the smooth surface and the light object on the rough surface was minimal. My data proves that my hypothesis was correct because the heavier object on the smooth surface was by far and away the fastest.